coral stitch, right-handers will usually work from right to left, and left-handers will usually work from left to right. So for right-handers, lay the thread along the stitching line, and then you take the needle around and insert it just above the stitching line and a little way forwards. So just above the thread that you're laying down. Leave a loop open and bring the needle back up immediately below that and just below the stitching line inside that loop of thread, and pull it gently. Lay the thread along the stitching line, hold it in place, take your needle around your work and insert it into the top of the stitching line. Keep a loop open and bring the needle back up underneath that stitch you've just made, and gently pull that through. Lay the thread along the stitching line, take the needle forwards and take it down just above the stitching line, bring it back up just below the stitching line but inside the loop of thread. And so you will create a little knot each time you do that. So for left-handers, lay the thread along the stitching line in the direction you want to stitch. Bring the thread back in a loop and insert the needle underneath the stitching line. Keep that loop of thread open and bring the needle back up just above the stitching line, vertically above where you've just taken it down. Gently pull that through. Lay the thread along the stitching line, bring the thread round and the needle under the stitching line, back up just above the stitching line and inside that loop of thread, and gently pull it through, making the little coral knot each time you do that. So lay the thread down, take it around, needle in just under the stitching line, and then back up just above the stitching line inside the loop you've just made. Gently pull that through. To finish this stitch, you take the thread over the knot, the last knot you've made, angle the needle so that it sits underneath the stitch. So over the last knot made and back down, angling the needle, and that will help it to sit nice and flat.